All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Troy Nelson in the KEXP live room and here at 90.3 KEXP, where we broadcast live in Seattle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we also stream all over the world at kexp.org. This is a extremely exciting day, and this is the first time I think two Troys have been in the same room. And I'm with the legendary band Treepeople, and Treepeople, if you want to do this, let's do this.
Something out when I'm inside of you. I just can't reach or seem to get through. Feel the crunch and I feel it too. But why do you act like you do? Still the same, nothing changed except the way we view. I don't know what you think, but I still think of you. You say it's not your fault that you can't help me when really you decided to give up and quit. You can't get out if you use your head unless you do, you'll be buried in your sleep. Nothing seems except the way we view. I don't know what you think, but I still think of you. I don't know what you think, but I still think of you. Think of you. Think of you.
Amazing. So loud. We have a huge spilled water over here. Nuts. It's rock and roll.
What'd you do, bass player Troy?
swallowed up. When it's so easy to get lost. When it's so easy to become just another face.
You're listening to Treepeople live here, 90.3 KEXP.
When
And wow, that is Treepeople live here on KEXP. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and congratulations to Treepeople being one of the absolute loudest bands that I have sat here, and I had to wear earplugs. First time in 17 years of doing radio. So thank you for berating me with your beautiful, loud guitars.
Our pleasure.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun. We appreciate you.
Yeah, it's that kind of loudness that I like felt in my body. It wasn't just ears. And
right.
I haven't experienced that since, Jay Mascis, the OCs. And so love it. Love it loud. Treepeople. I've been excited to talk to you too because, each city has such a music history, and I'm always very curious about that city's music history. And Boise has an awesome music history, and I want to go back to the beginnings, pre-Treepeople. You all have been in some bands with some really funny names. And I was looking at this, and Troy, you were in a band called the United States, which stood for the USA, the United States of Apathy.
That is true.
And let's see, Doug, you were in a band called Suiciety.
I don't think I was.
No, you absolutely were because you opened for the
Oh
Descendants.
yeah, Suiciety. You're right.
Yeah,
I was.
Suiciety,
I
yeah.
forgot. Yeah. Yep. I was in Suiciety for a moment.
Okay.
For at least one show.
Yes.
And then also, Troy, you were in a band called Dunce Cap.
Yes. Yeah.
What was Dunce Cap?
Dunce Cap is an evolution from USA. So Dunce Cap, we got a guy named Ken Cole to play guitar, and he kind of had this metallic hardcore sort of thing going on. So me and Dave Wahl ended up playing with him, and then Dave Wall's brother Scott. So yeah, Dunce Cap came after USA.
Okay. And a real important band in the story of Treepeople is State of Confusion.
Oh, absolutely.
Am I correct? And
Yes.
one time, I think Doug was sitting in on bass, and your band played at the Fifth Street House?
Yeah. Gosh, you know. That's absolutely true, yeah.
You've been reading Wayne's blog?
Yeah, exactly.
So I found out about Wayne's blog, and I wanted people to go to Wayne's blog. How do people find that? Because it does have a lot of awesome information on the history of Boise.
Yeah, it's musichistory.blogspot.com.
Yeah. So we ended up opening for State of Confusion at this Fifth Street house, a punk rock house that doesn't exist anymore. And Wayne was playing drums, Doug was playing bass, and Pat was singing, and Scotty's playing guitar. And I came up to him, and I was like, "Why aren't you playing the fast stuff?" And Wayne's like, I couldn't play the fast stuff, so I can do it. So I got on stage and went through a few songs. And about that time, the original drummer was just not interested in doing different things. And so I got to play with State of Confusion for about 10 months. So that was pretty awesome.
Awesome. And so you're about to become Treepeople and create this band. Is it true that one of the first songs that the members of what would become Treepeople played was Kid Dynamite by Squirrel Bait?
That's my recollection. These guys don't seem to remember it, but
I remember playing this.
Okay, because
Yeah.
there was a small time where SOC and Treepeople existed at the same time, and I came to State of Confusion practice, and Treepeople were wrapping up, and I could hear Kid Dynamite coming through it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. And so I walked in, my recollection is I asked them to play it again, and they played it again. So it
Yeah,
was great.
I actually haven't listened to Squirrel Bait, but I remember hearing like members of Nirvana reference them, and I don't know Squirrel Bait. I'm curious.
Oh, you should listen.
Yeah, they're from Louisville, Kentucky, and so they kind of got slagged in Spin Magazine for being like Husker Du ripoffs or something like that. But honestly, I thought they were a pretty great band themselves.
Mm-hmm. And you have a knack for covers. Treepeople have covered Carly Simon's "Clouds in My Coffee," but you called it "Flies in My Coffee."
Correct.
Yeah, was there any meaning behind that, or it was just funny?
Actually, yeah.
It's just funny.
So this is my memory. Of course, we're going to have dueling memories here, but is that we always used to joke with Doug because his lyrics would sometimes be kind of ambiguous and not obviously about somebody. And so we would say, Doug, is this song about me? And sometimes he would say it was just to mess with us or just brush us off or whatever. And that just kind of became a running joke. And my recollection is that's why we chose that cover song, because it's like you probably think this song is about you, that line.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's hilarious. Doug, I once read that you had said that you wouldn't be doing anything if it wasn't for this band. Treepeople, and you also went on to say that while you were in Treepeople back in the day, you felt a bit useless because you didn't drive, and you were so young, you had the least amount of money than anyone in the band. It sounds like this band was such a, like, for all of you, just such an early learning lesson about just being in a band and doing it, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was the youngest, the laziest. Yeah, these guys kind of took me under their wings, and you know, took me on this whole rock and roll adventure.
Mm-hmm. And I just love it. You formed in 1988, friends playing music together, and here we are in 2023, and still.
We moved up to Seattle in 1989.
Oh wow!
We knew Tad because he was from Boise, and he was talking about the new label Sub Pop, and there's a pretty kicking scene going on here, and we're like, maybe we should hit the big city and see what we can do. And so we moved up in '89 and just practiced our asses off, and like 3 or 4 times a week, and that was just our focus, was to put out records and see what we could do. So we worked really hard in the late '80s, early '90s, and it was a really cool time to be in Seattle because so much was happening.
Yeah, you were just right here at the epicenter of the whole everything.
And it's really cool because
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Back then you could afford to live on Capitol Hill. We all worked minimum wage jobs, you know, and we could pay rent. And it's just kind of sad now because it's pretty impossible to do that. You know, just pack up and land somewhere and start working and practicing. And so it was a really exciting time.
Yeah, the economic landscape is not very artist-friendly right now.
Much more affordable back then, though, for sure. But I mean, also in the music scene, what was interesting is that the music we were playing really wasn't what was kind of big in the scene at the time. We had played this show in Bremerton to all these straight edge kids, but they weren't like preachy straight edge kids. They were just really sweet. They had bought our first demo, No Mouth Piping, and they knew all the words to the songs. And so we're playing to this big party of kids, no cigarette smoke, no nothing. They're just like singing along and dancing and having a great time. And it was a really warm welcome. We're forever grateful to them. And that kind of brought us into it. And we sort of would play with punk. Since we came out of hardcore and punk and stuff as well, mixed into the sound, we were able to play with punk bands or sort of indie rock bands or what later became known as grunge bands, or we could just kind of play all different kinds of shows. And so it was really fun. So we were playing like all the time.
Cool. And just have a few more questions. For people who may not know, what is the connection between Treepeople and Mike Shear?
So Mike Shear is also from Boise, but has lived for many years in Portland. An amazing artist, one of my favorite artists of all time. He's up there with the greats for me. If you look him up, I think he has a Facebook account. His website is down, but if you look him up on Facebook, you can see his work and look at our covers. Just did this really surreal art, and we knew him just, from Boise. He used to play in this band called Oats in the Pan. The very first band we did was called Dissident Militia, and I sang. Scott played guitar, and Eric from State of Confusion played drums, and a friend of ours named Brad played bass. And so he did this crazy band called Oats in the Pan. He was just a really different kind of guy and did these really funny prank calls. This tape became kind of viral before the internet that we used to listen to. And his perspective on the world is very unique. And if you look at his art, you'll see it. It's very surreal and cool. It's hard to explain. You have to look at it. It's like Dolly meets cartoons meets dreams. And just, that I think Doug approached him about the Gree cover. Guilt, Regret, Embarrassment, by the way. It was Gree, is what we call it. And that was just kind of the start of something, because he did, many more Treepeople covers later. Like after I left the band, did Built to Spill cover art and did stuff for Scott's bands, The Hand and Stuntman. And he's just kind of been part of what we've done ever since. So
I want to hear this prank phone call tape.
I'd like to put it out.
Yeah. Can you reissue it?
He's nice. That's the best thing about his prank calls. He's not mean to people.
Right.
He just has fun.
That's awesome. Lastly, I was talking about this band doing some covers, which also shows your eclectic taste in music. You've covered Wild World by Cat Stevens, Pale Blue Eyes by the Velvet Underground. And Doug, one of your favorite songs, I want to know what about this song resonates with you so much, is by the Sweet Inspirations and their version of That's How Strong My Love Is.
I don't think we've covered that one.
No, you haven't covered that one.
Well,
I was just curious what about that song resonates with you so much.
It's perfect, beautiful, just incredible harmonies, vocals, so powerful. Beautiful soul song. Yeah, it's undeniable.
Yeah, I hadn't heard it before I heard you mention it, and I went and listened to it, and it's
stunning, huh?
Yeah, and angelic. It's amazing. So.
And I'd like to correct one thing. We played actually Sweet Jane.
Oh, Sweet Jane.
It's true.
Okay. I thought Troy had mentioned that in an interview I saw.
I have done a little Pale Blue Eyes when I just play acoustic.
So I think I might have gotten
Right.
that because that's like some, so that's probably where the confusion came
Oh.
from. So sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know it's a huge deal.
I'll be punished for it later.
No, but once again, just love the history of the music history in Boise, and you are such a part of it. And I know you moved up to Seattle in the beginnings and still made a name for yourself. I mean, it's part of the reason you're also still here. People talk about Treepeople when they talk about music history in the Pacific Northwest in general. And I just love, once again, getting together in 1988, and you're all friends playing music together, and you're still doing it all these years later and sounding fantastic. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time to share your music with everybody once again.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's a beautiful honor to be on this.
Yeah.
Thanks, Troy.
Yes, thank you all so much. Once again, that is Treepeople live here on 90.3 KEXP Seattle.
Thank you.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.